I think we have all appreciated international business and multinational corporation, but let's understand what the curriculum wants us to look at. Okay. So the curriculum is expecting us one. So let's look at the key areas. So you should be able to describe international business and analyze its importance. Okay. That's one of the key things you have to know. You should be able to describe international business and analyze its importance, and also explain multinational corporations, describe their features and importance. So these are some of the key things that we need to know. Specifically, we can talk about so things like exporting, foreign market, foreign direct investment. Okay, these are some of the key ideas that we'll be going through: joint venture, cross-border measures, international business, then multinational itself, right? These are key ideas we need to know. So let's use some few minutes to get some point about some of the key ideas. Number one is exporting. I think we all understand exporting involves sending goods and services to another country. So example is Ghana sending cocoa to the United States of America. That's exporting. If you appreciate exporting, I'm as well sure that you appreciate importing, right? So exporting has to do with sending the goods out of your destination to another country, your destination country to another country, while importation or importing has to do with bringing goods from another country into your destination country. Great. Foreign markets, I say include any market outside a company's own country. So foreign. So if a business is set up in Ghana, foreign market will include all the other similar businesses or competitors outside the home country of that business. Then you have foreign direct investment, FDI. We are being told that it's an investment from a party in one country into a business in another country. So for example, MTN Ghana going to the United States to invest in another business, that will be called foreign direct investment. Then subsidiary. When you hear the word subsidiary, it refers to a business entity either fully or partially owned and controlled by another company known as the parent company. Most of these subsidiaries are seen as branches of the business, but sometimes too, it goes beyond just a branch of a business. Okay, when you fully, so let me give an example. Let me use the universities. Some of the universities in Ghana are being affiliated to the major universities in Ghana. So if you take Cape Coast, UCC, University of Cape Coast, they have some small universities that are affiliated to UCC. I think even most of the training colleges, well, if not all, the training colleges are affiliated to University of Cape Coast. So in the business sense, we will say that those training colleges are subsidiaries of what? UCC, because they have majority control over such schools or businesses in the perspective of our business context. Okay, so that's a subsidiary. A business that is fully or partially owned by another company. Then we have joint venture. Joint venture is a business arrangement in which two or more parties agree to pool their resources together to establish a single enterprise or project for profit. So the name suggests you joint venture. So it could be business A, business B, coming together to establish one single enterprise to make or to do business to make profit. I think even the government sometimes does this kind of joint venture arrangement. Okay. Then we have cross-border mergers. Cross-border. So occurs when two or more businesses are combined or acquired by a foreign investor, and the control of assets and operations are transferred from the local business to the foreign business. Cross-border measures. I think a typical example recently would be that of Telecel, right? That came to take over Vodafone company, right? So Telecel was one company. In fact, I'm not too sure where is Telecel. Which country did they come from? If any of you know that. Professors, do you know where Telecel came from? Oh, none of us know. I'm not too sure. So I wanted to confirm from my professors. Oh, so it means my professors, you don't update yourself with current issues. Let's try to do that. I think they came from one of the African countries. I don't know. But they have their headquarters in the UK. Yeah, I'm sure the UK, the United Kingdom. But they have, several groups in most of the African countries. I think I'm aware of Congo and Zimbabwe, and now Ghana. They are now in Ghana too. Right. Well, this is for further reading, so you can read about them. But a typical example is Telecel coming to take over or merge with, I think, take over Vodafone in this country. Okay. Then we have international business. I think we have seen that when you exchange goods and services between different nations or countries. Then the word multinational means a company that has facilities and assets in at least one country other than its home base. So a company or a corporation is a multinational one when it has several branches in more countries, right? That's a multinational. So if you set up a company in Ghana and then you go to Nigeria and you set up another, then that company becomes a multinational company. Okay. Any questions so far on the key terms or ideas we have seen? Any question? If you have one that you didn't understand, please let me know. Josephine.
Sir, please, with the businesses, must it be like the same business that has to be in different countries, or it can be two different businesses, but by the same owner?
Okay, so you are referring to the international business, right? Or is it the multinational corporations?
Yes, please, the multinational.
Okay, so it should be if they are providing, say, Coca-Cola, it should be the same Coca-Cola they are providing in the other country. It shouldn't be a different product or service. Okay. So whatever services or product you are offering in country A should be the same you are offering in other country. That makes you the multinational business. Okay. So if let's say, for example, we set up a business here, we buy and sell gold, and then we go to the UK, we set up another business, but that business is not buying and selling gold, then we can't call our business as a multinational business, because we are offering something new, something different from our main product or service. So it should be the same product or service. If not, then maybe it will fall for maybe a foreign direct investment. So we are making an investment in another country, and that investment might not necessarily be the same as what we are doing, as in providing the gold in our home-based country. Please, Joseph, are you clear on that?
Yes, please. So,
Okay.
and I also don't understand the fourth point.
The fourth, which is the subsidiary, right?
Yes.
Okay. So let me see if I can give you an example. Subsidiary. So let me take Bank of Ghana. You see, Bank of Ghana is there to, we say it's the bank of the government, right? But aside their main operations of doing all the monetary things for the government and the country, do you know that they have hotels and restaurants and other businesses they are operating? I don't know if you know that.
No.
Okay. So even not even let me talk about SNET. I think SNET will be very common to you. The is it social? Wow, it just killed me. What's the full meaning for SNET, professors? Oh, none of my professors. Prof. Paddy, I think you are telling me, please. Social security and what?
The
Uh-huh.
insurance.
Okay, so Social Security and National Insurance Trust. I think we know this agency in Ghana, right? Do you know that SNET owns guest house and bungalows they rent out to people? Are you aware? In fact, they even have hotels. If you were following the news recently, we were told that the hotels were not performing, so they wanted to sell them. My professors, it's like you don't like watching. Please watch news, so especially business news, since you are a business student, so that I can pick some of these um you know things I'm talking about. Okay, so SNET owns several companies in this country. Eh? So that could be termed as subsidiaries of what? SNET. So a subsidiary is a company or a business that is either fully or partially owned by another company, but that company is known as a parent company. So if I want to use your family to make you understand, um, your father will be the parent company and you are a subsidiary because your father in this case fully owns you, right? So you are a subsidiary to your father. So businesses have other businesses they are engaged in, either fully or partial. Partially means that um, maybe they don't own it fully. There are other people who are part owners, right? Fully means they are the sole owners or controllers of such business. Okay, so some of the companies SNET operate in this country, I think they have a hospital. They call it Trust Hospital or something, and it's in Accra. Those of you in Accra, I don't know if you've heard of this hospital,
Yes.
Trust Hospital. It's owned by SNET, and it's a private hospital. They are operating to make money, so it's a subsidiary of SNET. Hmm? Okay. In fact, they are doing a lot of things. I think I heard this hotel. I think Labadi Beach Hotel is owned by SNET. That was the one they wanted to sell recently. So that is about the what do we call it? The subsidiary. Okay, so any business that is fully or partially owned by another company is a subsidiary to that company. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. So if we look at some of the companies like GCB Bank, they have their head office in Accra. They have several subsidiaries or branches in we have some in Cape Coast, Takoradi, wherever you go, GCB Bank is everywhere. Right? I think KFC has several subsidiaries scattered over the country. So the subsidiary could actually be operating the same way the parent company is operating, or they could be dealing with different products or services. Okay. Thank you. Any other question on the key ideas? Okay, so let's now move on to the next thing that we have. So I think today we'll only look at the international business definition, its features. If we have time, we'll do the importance, right? So let me quickly read through so that we go. International business refers to commercial activities and transactions that take place between companies and individuals located in different countries. I think this one is self-explanatory, right? So international business simply means financial or business activities between companies or individuals located in different countries. So if you in Ghana, you are doing business with another person in the US, you can term that as an international business. So if you are here and let's say you have a friend in Portugal and your friend asks you to get him tilapia so that he can prepare fufu in Portugal. If you send the tilapia to him and he also sends you your money, that is international business because you are transacting, okay, across borders of countries. You are in Ghana, he is in Portugal. So I hope it's clear on that. So most of the international business activities include what? Importations and exportations, right? And I think we have seen the term exportation and importation. Anyway, let me continue reading. So we have a lot of English here. So examples of international business activities include exporting goods to foreign market, establishing subsidiaries or joint ventures in other countries, engaging in foreign direct investment, engaging in cross-border mergers and acquisitions. Globalization and advance in technology means that international business has become increasingly common for companies seeking to expand. Okay. It requires companies to adapt to diverse economic, political, and cultural environment, making strategic decisions that consider the complexity of international marketplace. So let me speak a bit about this. So we know what international business is now. It refers to activities or transaction, business activities or transaction that take place between people or organizations located in different countries. Okay. Now, its application is to the point that when you import goods or you export goods, because you are moving goods or services from one country to another. So these are concepts in international business. But the point we have to note here is that if you are in Ghana, you know that the procedures and how you do business in this country is different from how you do same business in the US. So you would have to consider the economic, political, and cultural environment you find yourself. Okay. Unlike this country where sometimes if you don't pay tax, nothing will happen. If you go to the UK, you don't pay tax, your business will definitely be shut down because they take their tax payment very serious. Now let's end the class with few features of international business. I think the food I ate is finished, so I'll need professors to assist me read these key features. So who will read the first one? Prof. Janelle. Okay, Prof. Now read the first one for me.
Cross-border transactions.
Okay.
International business involves buying, selling, or exchanging goods and services between parties in different countries.
Okay. So one of the key features is that it happens between countries or it happens over the borders of countries, right? That's the point one. Point two. Prof. Selekem, would you do point two for me?
Global market expansion. Companies engaged in international business seek to enter and operate in foreign markets to tap into new customer bases and increase their revenue stream.
Exactly. So, yes, one of the characteristics of international business is that global expansion, right? Because you have the opportunity to explore different countries. So you expand your market globally, and that is true. Prof. Zoe, number three.
Currency exchange.
Okay.
International business transactions often require dealing with different currencies and managing exchange rates fluctuations.
Yes, that is very true. I think is one of the basis for our city always fighting with the dollar, right? Because if you are going to buy goods from the US, you'd have to use a dollar. So if you have Ghana cities, you have to convert into this foreign currency. So there's always the case of currency exchange. Either you are changing your dollars for city or city for dollars, right? Depending on where you find yourself. Okay, I think Prof. Enam will read the fourth point for me. Then I'll sum up with the point five and six. Prof. Enam, point four.
Understanding. Companies operating in must go through cultural differences in language, custom, effective communication, and business relationships.
Okay, thank you very much. I think this is if you are trading with a Chinese man, definitely there will be that cultural difference in language. Whilst maybe you will be speaking in Chi, the Chinese man will be saying Hun Chan Hua, and you may have to find a translator. Otherwise, you cannot continue the business. And I think professors should appreciate or begin to look at, getting to know some of the basic, words or meanings of words in certain languages because you would be dealing with them. Chinese people, um, Russians, Ukrainians, etc. So imagine Mr. Amwa speaking to, let me not go for French, even French. Je me suis. If you don't understand, you'll be there and saying je me suis, they will come and take you away because so that cross-cultural differences exist in international businesses. Okay. I wanted to do the fifth point, but something is telling me to call one of you, and that will be Afiba, Prof. Afiba. Fifth point. Okay. I think Prof. Afiba is learning French so that she can trade with the French-speaking people. So adherence to international laws and regulations, yes. When it comes to international businesses, you have to appreciate the laws and the rules in the other countries as well, because you can't do things anyhow in some countries. So that is straightforward. Sixth point is risk management. International business comes with lots of risk. Imagine when you import cars and they have to be brought into the country via the sea or should I say marine transportation. Then by the time you You'll be eating your supper and they'll call you and say the ship has sunk into the ocean. It's either you finish the food in a hospital or so that risk is there. Okay, even with the exchange rate issues, sometimes people, incur the losses of today the dollar is 10 cedis, tomorrow it is 15 cedis. So if you are not careful, your capital for such businesses would be affected. So international business comes with a lot of risk. And sometimes to mitigate some of these things, we do insurance to at least help us absorb the shock. So dear professors, let me sum up today. Today we looked at the objective test questions, and I think you all appreciate the answers now. And we also did lots of further explanations on some of the things. Then we came to international business and multinational corporations. I think we have appreciated some key terms, and we can now define international business and also at least state 3 or 4 features of international business. So dear professors, I think that's where we'll end today's class. I'll see you, God willing, tomorrow to continue our discussion on international business and multinational corporations. If there are questions, we have 4 minutes. You can ask me and I'll answer them. Okay, I think something in the chat states. Prof. Akoli states. What does that mean, Prof? Okay, so I think my professors don't have questions. So we would end today's class. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen.